Alright, welcome to another replay review. Today we have Tufte, who's a Diamond 1 player. Can you believe that, Alyssa? A Diamond 1 player. She's impressed. We are going to be looking at his loss versus a Malian player, which is actually a pretty well-played game, with just, a few different strategy changes. Like, when I was watching this video, there's a lot of things I agreed with action-wise, but when you're playing against trade, like we're gonna see this Malian player go to, there's some steps you have to take to make sure you don't let that get out of control. We start with the usual HRE opening. Gets all of the sheep that are around. So actually, before we get into it, let's actually do the process we usually do, which is what can HRE do well, what do Malian do well, what do they do well. So, as an HRE player, if you're playing against Malian, that is a tough time. Malians are really good against gold unit oriented civs, like the HRE. I mean, at any point in time, as an HRE player, you have to realize, well, if I go men-at-arms, so I go heavy men-at-arms, he's going to produce Musafatis and I die. So you have to kind of go an atypical comp for HRE, but I think the strategy is still the same. I would probably want to get a few units out to defend, go castle, get relics, try to get to imp, and then just mass spears and horsemen as my main go-to, or mass horsemen and archers. Archers are just really good against almost all Malian units except for the Sofa. So if you do like a mix of spear, archer, horseman with just a nice archer mass, that's probably your best bet going into imp, and then you just use your eco to just flood the map. And it's a really strong style for HRE because their eco is so good by imp if they have the Arc and Chapel up with the farms and things like that. What's atypical about this, Tufte decides to go put a couple villagers on wood to get out on the deer early. I am a little iffy about doing this early deer. I understand trying to get forward resources before you start feeling pressure. I would do this against civs that are more boom based, so you know that like if you're playing against China or Abbasid, this would actually be a pretty safe bet. They're not getting on the map quickly. But Malians have warrior scouts, which could easily attack the soldiers here. This Malian player is actually going to do it a little bit unconventional style, I think, because he's going to be against an HRE player. But with the warrior scouts and the ability for the Malians to get on the map pretty quickly, I probably would have avoided doing this front. One, since you don't have wheelbarrow, you're losing time walking your villas out here. You do get survival techniques, which is helpful, but it's only helpful if you're on 2 deer packs. Like if you plan on taking 1 deer pack and another deer pack or taking a boar, then yes. At this point, you get pushed off of it. Once the second Donzo shows up, you know you got to get off. This sucks because at this point you lost time both walking up here, building the mill, buying survival techniques, and now you're going to have to walk back. That's a huge loss of resources. You could have been aging up right now if you had just stayed on your TC and brought back, I assume, look at all this sheep. Stay under the TC, Arc and Chopper. You could be doing up on your Archon already. You might even be almost hitting Feudal, even if you rush it, which would put the Malian player super far behind because he decided to go units early. He got value out of this because you actually went out on the map. If you didn't go on the map, he might have poked at your gold, but you would have already had enough gold to age up, and it would have been kind of a waste of time from him. This is actually massive value for him. If he didn't kill a villager, which is good, but he did delay you. Lots of sheep, it's nice. You can get a house up. Alright, so serious splits here. You may go 4 on gold, 7 on wood, 8 on field. Now, you should already be suspecting he might try to feudal pressure you, so actually you don't need 4 on gold. You can do 3 on gold, have 8 on wood. 8 to 10 on wood allows you to start adding farms, and your goal should be right now is to get up on archery range. Great. Archery range first. Secure up, try to get a wall up over here, get a wall right here, maybe get a wall across if you can push him back far enough, and start securing your base, because if you can just turtle up, get farms, and then react to what he's doing, you're going to be in a really good spot. The thing we have to be careful of, what we tend to do, I do this too, when you get attacked early, you keep your scout right here. Your scout's not doing anything here. Your scout should be going out and checking, one, is he sending more Donzos? What's he aging up with? how big is this attack? Because right now you actually have no information. Is he stopping at 3? Is he going 4-5? He shouldn't be, hypothetically. But you want to be getting this scout back out there. 1, what resources do you have over here? But 2, seeing what is he doing. Is he going out that you could maybe pressure? Is he going trade? What is he doing? So, like, get your scout back out there. This pressure is going to kill you. And they're not, like, knights, so a Donzo isn't going to easily kill one of your villagers. Just get out. Just get your scout out there and start looking around. Try to build this outpost. Once again, I only know if this outpost is worth it. If your plan was to rush castle, like, I don't want to make units just hardcore rush castle, get the outpost up, but you'd want to put that outpost here. This kind of feels unnecessary, especially because you're getting archers out. Just build more archers. You have to cancel it. You cancel it again. Waste of time, waste of resources. Do it again. Just building more archers would have paid off for you. Like a second archer range. Once again, archers, like, even if he goes, if you force him to javelin throwers, then you go horsemen, which is great, but archers are going to beat Mustafatis, they're going to beat Donzos. Just start really massing archers. And people don't expect you to do this HRE, they think you're just going to stick to the dogma. Now you have 9 on gold, which is a lot of gold. And my fear is that you're macroing up to way too much gold. Good, so now he realizes you're all archers, he's going to have to back up, he's going to have to go into javelin throwers. You don't really get a good spy on the base. I would like you to come down just a little bit to see the base. But you do see Saharan Trade Network, and that means you know he's going to trade. And then what you should have done immediately is go stable now. I'm up here disrupting the trade. Because if you go castle, then get relics, by the time you're ready to actually go active the trade, this is a huge trade, by the way. He's going to be making so many resources off of that. You have to, unfortunately, trade is good enough that you really have to change how you play against it the second you see it. Especially because he's going to invest resources into it. So, and you want to go horseman anyway. So the second you saw this trade mark, you need to go horseman, build up that mass, and get 3 or 4 horsemen out there and just bug him about it. Your archers are holding right now, but once again, look how much. With 9 on gold, you already hit 670 to go castle. Are you getting your upgrades? You need to get you should do wheelbarrow first in horticulture, because wheelbarrow helps all your units. You gotta do that lumber preservation. But at this point, you should have like 12 on wood, because you can't even spend all your resources. And you're gonna have, once again, you have too much gold. Build another outpost, which is, I'd rather you just have units, to be honest. So here's kind of the weird part. If you wanted to rush castle, you could have already been in castle if you had macroed your units better. Because if you want to go castle as HRE, you only need 6 on gold, really. 9 was too much. If you wanted to stop him in feudal, you should have more on wood, got to stable up. And the way to think about it is if you balance those resources out to what your actual goal is, you would get there real fast. You want more units to go pressure his trade, kind of slow him down. You could have had multiple horsemen out by now across the map. If you want to go castle, you could have already been halfway up the castle by now. Instead, you're kind of in this weird middle spot. Let's see what your opponent's doing at this moment. At this moment, your opponent is getting up cattle ranches. So it's going to be free food. So he's going to have all his free resources set up. That sucks for him. Look at this gold mine. But he's devouring this shoreline fish, which is worth so much food. And he's getting that for free because of the map control. He's setting up farms, which are going to be free resources as well. And he only has 2 traders, but each of these traders is giving him 68 gold. So yeah, you're going to beat him to castle, but he's going to have way better resource base than you. Because he also has units to stop you from getting relics.
Yeah. That's honey girl.
Good with regates, good. They have a second stable. You should really just be seeing horsemen. Because the issue of knights against Malians is that they can either kill Donzos, they can kill Musafati, Sofas can do okay against them. So going horsemen is actually a better move here for the speed of the mobility. You want to be all over the map with Malians, taking out a pit mine here, killing a couple villagers here, and just constantly rotating around the map. If you go mass knights, unfortunately, his Sofas can catch him, and he has a lot of units that can really hurt them. So in my opinion, you should just go mass horsemen and then get spearmen out. Because the hypothetical for him is that he's probably going to go Sofas. You get 1 relic, But you know he's scouting out the rest of them. You know he has this force out here. He's probably smart to be checking your routes. You get 2 immediates, nice, but you should be walking out with your prelate immediately. These two, this knight and horseman should already be at the trade line. Because this map is so big, right? Just put him on the edge and walk him up. You should be constantly in his trade line so he never feels like he can have a full force at your base. 4 traders. You're lucky you didn't really go into the boom. So macro. So every 15 seconds it's important that we stop and we think, what's my goal? Am I macroing towards that? Well, your goal is even to secure relics. To do that, you need more units. You need more food. 15 on wood is too much for HRE. If you want to just keep making production and keep making farms, you only need about 12. Especially if they're still under the influence. Also make sure you get the lumber camp down. But you should instead be focusing on putting food here in the berry bush, and as you get the ability to add more farms, just keep adding farms. Delete lumber camps, add farms. This is also a great downtime moment to get up walls, knowing that you're probably going to get pressured at one point, and the more walls you have up, the better. I like this move into, I know you're going to go for a Mangonel. You know he has a mass. You're in a castle first. But at this point, you should know he's probably going castle. This would be a great chance to catch him on his age up. Castle. Once in, don't leave your knights and horsemen here. He's not going to attack you yet. You're not going to die yet. Keep sending groups of 2 to 3 horsemen or knights around the map to hit resource areas. You know where the resources are. You scouted this.
Yeah.
You know he's trying to do trade. It's okay. Was that a hiccup or was it a hiccup? Do you need me to scare you? Commitment. So get this up, and you should be, you know where his wood line is. You know that he's going to be getting up pit mines on the gold vein. So just keep rotating around and hitting his resources, killing a couple traders. You want to be annoying. You want to be all over the map, so he never feels secure enough to actually push you. If he follows you, if he takes a huge horse and follow you, then you go into the center and take out his villagers in the center. Like, just, you want to be around the map. When you're down, you have to raid. And if you're trying to boom, if you're trying to get up to him, you want to raid so that he's not attacking you, he's defending you. Don't set up your use your mobility on these big maps. Use your mobility. You should expect that the first thing he's going to try to get out is a spring hold. You should get out a spring hold yourself. You should be going to horseman and then getting all these upgrades. You need your defensive upgrades. You did get your eco upgrades though, which is great. So here's the thing. You notice he notices you run by him, and now he's just going to go in for this raid here. If you keep your archers here, archers shut down a lot of this, or at least slow him down. And a horseman allow you to respond fast. You should just come back in and hit this. Very nice. You don't lose your crouching away, but you don't over egress. A lot of knights. These knight numbers are great. What you should do here, it's tempting to raid with all your knights. Raid in pockets of 3 or 4. Because 2 knights can kill 1 villager in one hit. So you send out 4, you can mass through them, and you want to pull him apart. You want to make sure that he is going all over the map. You send all your knights in one spot like you're about to do. It actually makes them less effective. Thing about doing it in this way, how can I kind of trick him? If you send 4 knights in, he's gonna follow. You track them back. You send another 4 in, and then you're killing his traders in the back while they're chasing the ones going up here. And you send another 4 right into the center where you've seen that he's getting food. Like, split them up. And yes, you might lose them because your APM might not be high enough to really do it all correctly, but you're gonna get a lot more value out of it because he can't stop 4 knights all over the map. He can't stop it if he gets to use all his force on them. Boom, boom, boom. But here's where you get a good piece of info that you react to actually well, but I don't think fast enough. You notice he's going heavy into socials. You're like, your first immediate reaction should be, well, I have 1,034 wood. I need to drop 3 barracks right now and start pumping spearmen. Which you do, but you do it a second too late, in my opinion. Once again, walls. Get walls up now. You could even send a villager down here and just start walling up across. Like, get walls up now while you have this much wood. Delete these lumber camps and get down more farms. You want about 30 farms. 30 farms. There you go. Look at that. 30 farms right now. When you get imp, you can get more. See how you're just losing your knights? And you're getting some value out of it, but you just need to get them back home at this point. So you do your next grouping, but these rotations are a little late. Because then also you're losing too many of them in these raids. Like, doing 4 and 4 at a time still gets the economic value out of it, but you don't lose much of your force if they die. Okay, you go Swabia, which is correct. I would have put Swabia over here, right on the wood line, so they're just going straight into the wood. Here's the key. You miss out on the one thing, well, all these grips, that I think would have really bought you time and saved you. Keeps are nerfed this season, and they cost way more. What's still good though is your cannon emplacement towers. You have 3 outposts with what's called relics in them. All of these, you need them. One, get on stone the second you go imp. So when you go imp, you need to be on stone immediately, or drop a market and buy the stone. Because what you need is you need each of these towers to be 1, fortified, and then 2, cannon placement. If these are on cannon placement, he can't push you. They'll do too much damage. He can't push you. All you then need is spring ults. You get spring ults to kill any trebuchets he puts out, and then you mass units while you wait, while you keep building up your eco. You get more villagers. The cannon emplacement defense is so strong with relics for HRE. Turtle up, get your cannon emplacements, build your mass, and keep sending out raids of 3 to 4 horsemen around the map to keep bothering it. But instead, what you try to do, which I think kills you, is that you never get these emplacements, and you try to put down a heat, which is too expensive, and then he can just try to trade out. Oh, look, watch out. He's got a trader in the mass. This trader's coming in. Notice you're not ready to take this fight. And you could have had cannon emplacements up already, which you could have backed up into, and then he would have lost this force. Boss would have lost up. You could have got up. Use your raid to buy you time to wall. I'm gonna go right here. If he was smart, he would have set these in. I mean, he's smart, he's doing well, but if he had been a little more APM wary, he could have got in there and really done damage to you. But if you had a wall up here, you wouldn't be able to do that. Walls save lives. And now at this point, you're facing the issue where his mass is bigger than yours. It's going to be really hard for you to catch back up on that. He's tradesman untouched. He has 16 traders, each getting 68 gold. He has all his cows up. Each one is making 96 food a minute. And even though you have more villagers than him, his passive income is massive. And this is just a snowball that's really hard to come back. You see, when I see HRE players go imp like this, because they got cannon placements, they let this cannon placements buy any time it comes up. And you get spring ults just to snipe spring ults and then counter buys. But you upgrade this, but then you never get cannon placements for it. Resources, but I don't think you have a market. Yeah, a market and then buying food and then continue building production back here and just keep getting units out. At any point in time, if you just sent half the sofas around here and attack, you'd be dead instantly. Yeah, actually, I mean, once again, your defense is actually pretty solid. You put a couple cannons, watchtowers here, put cannon business in them. I actually like you sneaking out villagers over here. He's not really. This is so hard because he has so many resources too. So even if you beat this, he's gonna re-mass it instantly. Anyway, so overall, I love your game plan. Though I think you could have executed it faster. You want to go castle? Actually, go castle faster, which will allow you to get out better units to stop the street. I also like how your reactions were correct. You had pretty good eco. You're doing the right unit comp. You just didn't get that comp out fast enough, and then you didn't defend correctly when you went up. Cannon and placement towers. Cannon and placement towers can be huge for you if you want to go imp and then try to hold it. Raiding. Use raiding to buy you time when you do these kind of like greedy imp plays. Which isn't really greedy imp, I mean it's like 30 minutes, but if you're down and going imp, because you were down and then you went imp, you use raids to buy you time. And don't raid with all of your cavalry at the same time. Raid with like 3 or 4 horsemen. You can even do spearmen, do 3 or 4 spearmen into different parts. Like little raids to buy you time and take away their attention gives you an opportunity. And lastly, you just can't let the trade get that big. That's why whenever I see trade, no matter what civ I'm playing, I am feudal pushing with horsemen. Because if you can punish that trade, it usually leads to you winning. Anyway, man, great game. You have great instincts. You have pretty good play. I'm excited to see you win games because you did win a lot of games recently. I picked one of your few losses. But yeah, I would say cannon, placement towers, and small raids are going to get you far. If you have any feedback, let me know. If you are interested in getting your own replay review or want coaching for me, please reach out on Discord, which is in my description, PaperCutJV. And yeah, have a great rest. Have a great day.